Hello everyone, my name is Alberto, welcome back to my channel. So this video was recorded during Christmas time, as you can see. It took some time, but I'm back now. So what I had to do was clear up some parts of the house, and this allowed me to find these old blankets. They're very simple wool blankets. In Italy at least, they're very common everywhere. And I kept one, but there were so many, so I decided to try and use them to do something with. Because they are old, they're slightly worn down, so not really worth it for other stuff. So I decided to make a coat out of them, or to try to. I made a simple coat pattern and started cutting out all my pieces. I had found two seemingly identical blankets, so I used those two because they're not like queen size blankets, they're more like couch blankets. So it's difficult to figure out how to place all the pieces without losing part of the pattern or stuff like that. And that's why ideally you would want to fit most of your pieces into the same piece of fabric, if it makes sense. So ideally, patterns with lots of pieces, very good, because you can sort of fit them all together. Plus, it is a woven fabric, it's not a knit. So as you can see, I had to put the pieces of the sleeve on the wrong grain, but it doesn't really matter. What I did after was to start cutting some fusible interfacing. I do like to cut it to shape and size, because as you can see, I do this sort of fake anatomical kind of cut, which I do like to do on my jackets and coats. I feel like it fits pretty well and it works pretty well. I then cut some strips, which as you can see, I put on all the hems. This is just to keep them a little bit crispier and give them a little bit more stability. So I started joining all my pieces. My collar is in two on one side and in one piece on the other, and the under collar, which is the one in two pieces, has interfacing. Put interfacing on the sleeve hems. Again, quite important. It makes them last longer as well. They wear down less. Started joining my sleeves. I ironed between every steps. I ironed all the seams flat. This is sort of a highlight video, so I'm not showing you every single step. I marked all my buttons, my pockets. I marked the darts, which I closed, and then again iron either to the side or open. And this whole piece is my front and side. It's in one single piece. Then I started joining my front and my back along the sides. I did attached pockets on this coat to keep it as simple as possible, and again, because of the pieces, you could 100% do normal pockets. It works absolutely fine. It was just a question of keep it simple. I joined the shoulders. Again, on the shoulders, you could, if you were to make a coat in a more traditional, tailor-made way, you would have a lot more reinforcements and a lot more steps. But this is sort of a sports coat, trying to keep it as simple as possible. I got the simple lining, is a nice sort of ochre gold color. This is the back. I did it in one piece, but with some notches stitched in that act as vents. It's for ease of movement. And then I'm gonna start joining all my lining pieces together. So we're gonna construct a whole lining and a whole coat and then join them together. This little piece you see is the facing of the lining. It is aesthetic piece. Again, it's not You don't really need it there, but it's good to have it. Here, as you can see, I started joining all the different pieces and aligning with the outer shell. So what I do is I try to join the collar and let's call it the external seam first, and then I go back in. I leave a little space at the bottom open so I can turn the coat inside out, and then I'm gonna attach the sleeve hems, as you can see. I'm gonna fold the hem on itself inside out and whip stitch it down. This will allow the sleeves to keep their shape and not sort of prolapse, if you will. I put some small shoulder pads. Again, not really needed. It's more of an aesthetic choice. These are very, very small, not really coat shoulder pads, but they worked absolutely fine. Then I turned it the correct way, ironed it a little bit, and then here, as you can see, this is the opening that I had left at the bottom, and I'm just gonna simply close it. I'm gonna try to stitch underneath the hem so that when it's done, it's not gonna be visible because the extra lining will fold in on itself and it will cover it. And this is the final result. I'm really happy with it. It's super cozy. I hope you liked it. If you do, please put a like under the video and subscribe to the channel. It's a great help for me. And I'll see you next week. Bye.